So, what's up, guys? Here is Teodoro. I'm a high school student that is exploring the financial world because I study accounting in high school. I'm 17, so I'm planning to join investment banking in the future, like in my final year in university. And like I speak Portuguese, but I'm making myself to be in discomfort and learn about English with this channel. And I'm going to teach you guys, like for those who want to know a little bit about the financial statements and financial modeling, because I think it's a very important thing that for people that is for people that want to pursue a career in the financial world, is very important to know this basis. I'm going to start with like the financial statements in the next videos, but today I'm here to talk about a DCF model that I did yesterday. And I was evaluating NVIDIA. Like I first pull up the assumptions that you guys can search in internet for those who have like paid subscription sites like Capital IQ and Bloomberg. You can find there, but I use free sources, so I use Yahoo Finance that helps me with this. So first, we have to know what is discounted cash flow or DCF valuation model. There is a method that we can value a company based in his intrinsic value. Like it's not comparing to the others, but is looking inside the company, looking inside of the financial metrics of the company and discounting it back for his present value that we're going to see it today. So first we have to calculate our free cash flow as we have here. Then we have to calculate our weighing weighing average cost of capital. Sorry if I didn't pronunciate it well. It's just because I'm learning English and practicing English that my English is like this. But it's weighing uh, average cost of capital. That is the cost of capital that this company, in this case is NVIDIA, had um with his cash or yeah, or their cash. Then we are going to calculate the terminal value that we are going to estimate the 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 price of a company in the end of this forecast, that is in the end of the 5 years. For the next 5 years, the terminal value of the next 5 years. We can use two metrics that are based on EBITDA multiples or the growth rate. Here I did based on EBITDA multiples, but you guys in home can make based on the growth tax. That is normally the growth tax of of the company or the country. Like if it's US, how much percent does US growth based in a year based, and this is going to be your growth rate. Then we calculate the present value. As I said in the beginning, we first, it's a metric of valuation that we we calculate it based in intrinsic value, so it's not based in the other companies or like the other valuation methods like comparable companies valuation or M&A transactions valuation or precedent transactions valuation. No, is based on intrinsic value, the value of the company. And then we are going to discount it um, to us to have the present value. Like we are going to discount these free cash flows um, based on the discount rate that here is the WACC average cost of capital, and we are going to have our present value discounted. Basically, we are going to discount the free cash flow um, by WACC average cost of capital to us to have the present value of free cash flow and of the terminal value, that is this that we have here. Then we are going to calculate the enterprise value is going to be the sum of all these values, like all the free cash flow present values plus the perpetuity present value, and we are going to have our enterprise value, that is the value of all the company, including debt, minus cash and those things. That is for uh, both equity holders and debt holders. And then we are going to put also here the enterprise value, and then we are going to put here the cash and debt. It can is just a simple a simple model. We can have here more things like I mean I don't know here. I don't know now, but we can add things here. But I'm doing just this. Is a basic model. Is an easy model for you to have a study. And then we are going to add cash because in the enterprise value we don't have the cash inside of it, and we are going to remove the debt because in the enterprise value we normally include the debt because it's for both equity holders and debt holders. So we are going to sum the enterprise value plus cash minus debt, that and we are going to have the equity value, that is the cash available for the equity holders, not for debt and equity holders as we have here in the enterprise value, but for here is just for the the equity stakeholders basically. Then we are going to have to put our shares outstanding like we have here. In our assumptions, we can see that it's here, shares outstanding, that are the shares that are being traded and are available for in the market, and then divided the equity value, that is the price or the value or the money that is available for equity holders, and then we are going to divide it by the shares outstanding, and we are going to have the price, the share price, basically. Those are the steps. Um, First, as I said, we are going to have these assumptions, like the EBITDA. If you are going to use the EBITDA multiples for to calculate the terminal value, we are going to have we are going to search for total debt, the debt that the company has, the equity, total equity, cost of debt, that normally is the interest rate, the interest that a company pays for his debt holders, basically like banks or another thing. Cost of equity, that you are going to learn how to calculate it. The percentage of debt, that is basically the debt divided by the total both equity and debt, is just to estimate in the enterprise value how many percent like debt has, and how many or how much percent equity has in the total of the both debt and equity. The beta that is the how can I say it? I mean, is like we have the market, the market movement. Like if you have a beta like 1.68, that means that if the market moves 1%, your company or the company that you are evaluating is going to move 168, like is here. Like it's going to its measures based on the market movements, how much your company is volatile based on the market. Then we have shares outstanding, that are the shares available in the market. And here we have that this company, NVIDIA, has um 24,000 shares outstanding. Let me put here um like first value values in millions of dollars, because those values are in millions. Like here is um 24 billion. Then we are going to have our risk-free rate, that basically is the 10-year treasury for the US. That are the normally is the value of return that a bond of a country basically gives yearly. And then we have expected market return, that are returns that the investors are expecting for a determinant investment. Tax rate, that for US is 21%. Enterprise value, that we can check in the documents online. If you guys have Capital IQ or Bloomberg, like you can see it there. And here we have the EBITDA multiple, um, that is the enterprise value divided by the EBITDA, that we are going in here. We are going to have the EBITDA multiple, that is for calculate the terminal value as we have here. So first we are going like to so I'm going to show you how I search those assumptions. Like we here have I use Yahoo Finance because I'm learning. As I said, I'm just a high school student and I'm exploring the financial world. And like when I went when I by the time I go college, I'm planning to do finance, so that's it. Um Here we can see that it's NVIDIA, that is the company that we are evaluating basically. And first we are going to search for EBITDA. Um, we can go down and see here statistic NVIDIA, and view more, and then we have valuation measures. We have the capital mark, that is normally is the equity value, that is here. We don't have equity value. We have in the end of the period. But yeah, let's it's not valid, so yeah. Um, we can have here the enterprise value, that is the same that we have here. Enterprise value, third, three trillion, that is here. Those numbers are in millions. So as I said, those numbers are in millions. So if we add millions here, it's going to be $3 trillion. And then we have I think we can go down And here we have our EBITDA, that is for 39 billion. And we have also here 49 billion, and the first assumption is here. We have total debt. Uh, we have here also total debt that is 11 billion, and we also have here 11 billion. Total equity, I think the total equity I didn't catch here, but if we search NVIDIA total equity, um, I mean, we can see here 39 billion, basically. That is the same that we have here. Like here's it says shareholders equity. It's the same. It's basically the same. Um, you guys can search like I did now. It can be useful also. Um, the cost of debt I also had to calculate. That is, I had a formula here. Basically, it's going to be the interest expenses that you had in that period divided by the total debt, as we have here. The interest expense that we paid here was that they paid was 255 million, and then their book value of debt was 11 oh, 11,000 dollars, 11,000 million basically. That is 1 billion that we had here. We had here $1 billion, and we divide the interest with the interest expense divided by the total debt, and we are going to have the the cost of debt. Basically, as I said, is the interest that you pay for the money that you borrowed. Then we have the cost of equity. That is one of the hardest formulas, but we are going to to talk about this in the end. Then we are going to have the percentage of debt. That is the percentage that both equity and debt holders, how many percent are debt influencing the debt plus equity, and how many percent has is equity inside both debt and equity. I don't know if that make sense, but is this basically the we have here first the debt, the debt, this number is the debt, the C5 is the debt, divided by the sum of both debt and equity. And we had the percentage, and then we have the percentage of equity. First, we have the equity divided by the sum of both equity and debt, that we had the percentage. Basically, the sum of these two, we are going to have the 100%. That is the sum of those two. So then we have the beta, as I said, is the basically is measuring the how volatile is your company based on the market movements. And we can also have the beta here. We have here the beta here, that is 1.68, and is the same here. The shares outstanding we can also find here, that is here, shares outstanding, it's about for 24 billion, uh, like as we have here, 26, 24. Risk-free rate, that, as I said, is basically the the bonds. It's basically the same has the bonds of a country. Like for US, it's the 10-year treasury. If we search here, 10-year treasury, 10-year treasury, that is the bonds of United States. We have that um, is about 3.8%, and that was what I used because NVIDIA is a US company, and the expected market return I just did based on the on the how is the name of that? The S&P 500. So I did based on that. And here we have the tax rate that is 21% for the US. The enterprise value that we had also here in the here 20 3 point 16 trillion that we have here, 3 trillion, and the EBITDA multiple that is not an assumption, but we had also here that is the enterprise value divided by the EBITDA. So then we can do the free cash flow. Um, normally we are going first to have the EBIT, that is the earnings before interest and taxes, and then you are going to have the depreciation and amortization. But we had already the EBITDA that includes the depreciation and amortization, so I decided to use that just the EBITDA, and I did a forecast that the EBITDA is going to um, to grow yearly 10%. I don't know if it's yearly, but annually, I mean, is some of those. It's going to grow 10% per year, and I did those assumptions. Then we are going to have our CapEx, that is our capital expenditures, that you can search the CapEx of a company, of this company, NVIDIA, online. We can also search here, or you can find the CapEx on the statement of cash flow in their 10Ks in their websites, and or you can also like search here if you trust the data. And we have NVIDIA's capital expenditures peaked in January 2023 at 1.8. I think I used it. 1.8. No, I didn't. So I used based on this year. Um, I think we can see here it NVIDIA annual cash flow that I picked here. I don't know. I really don't remember where but you can find in the 10 case of them. We are going not to do that because it's going to, we can add, okay, it's here, the capital expenditures. Like for the cash flow, we have operating activities, we have investing activities and financing. So in the investing activities part, you are going to have the capital expenditures, and here, as you can see, was one one 1 billion. So it's what is here, and I kept it fixed. And change in networking in working capital was the same. I searched it and was minus 3 billion dollars. So it's what I put it here. So I think here is up in my here is 722, and here is 792. But here is based on these changes in working capital. I based here So yeah, I think it's valid. I think we have it up. I don't know, but it's okay. It's a small difference. Um, and we sum all of it. We include the depreciation and amortization because are not expensive, not cash expensive or expenses because the assets really depreciate. The value of one asset today is not the value of the asset tomorrow, but you don't pay back to depreciation and amortization or for that asset. Let's give an example. If you buy a car today for about 25,000, the asset is going to depreciate by the time, but you are not going to spend more money on it. Basically, it's a not expensive, not cash expensive. So we add it back in the cash flow because we didn't uh expand or yeah, we didn't expand cash. So we we do it minus our capex that are capital expenditures that the a capital that we use for investing in properties and those things, and changing net working capital. If it's negative, we are going to do minus also the change in network in working capital, and we are going to have the results here of free cash flow in the first year, in the second year, in the third year, in the fourth year, in the fifth year. Then we're going to calculate the WACC, average cost of capital, as I said. That first, let me remove it. And first, what you're going to have, we are going to first pick up the percentage of debt, how much percentage a debt is in your total capital, both or for the holders, both debt and equity holders, times your cost of equity plus your percentage of debt times tot your cost of debt times 1 minus tax rate, and we are going to have the wing average cost of capital. That is the cost that we have investing our capital basically. Then you're going to have the terminal value. Here I use the method that we calculated based on the EBITDA multiple, but you guys can use the also the growth rate that I'm going to pass it in the next videos. But basically I pick up first the free cash flow in the last year, as I said, is the value of the company in his last year, that here is in the fifth year, and then we are going to do it times the EBITDA multiple that basically is how much dollars has or that investors are willing to pay based on his EBITDA, uh, or each dollar of his EBITDA. Basically, here it says that um, based on the EBITDA, all of the investors are willing to pay um 60 uh 60 and $4 basically. I think it's this. Please, if I said that wrong, please correct me in the comments. But it's 64 dollars for each dollar of the revenue. Because if we multiply the revenue, not the EBITDA, if we multiply the EBITDA times the multiple, it's going to give us the enterprise value. So is that? Then we have the terminal value or the perpetual value, and here is it. Then we are going to calculate the present value that here we are going to discount back the cost of capital. To the present value, basically, we are going to discount the cost of capital in the present value, as I said. And how are you going to do that? Let me delete all of this. And then we are going to have first the free cash flow of that year, that here, as we see here, is in the first year, um, divided by parentheses. I think it is, if is this in English, 1 plus the WACC, that is the weighted average cost of capital that we are going to use to discount the present value. Um, we can close it and power the year, that is 1 year, and we are going to have our first present value. You can use a shortcut. I use Control C. You can pull to the right and then just copy the formula we have here. Um, the value in the second year, power the two, and still dividing it by 1 plus the cost of capital. And here is for the both. You can use F to do what I'm doing. And for the terminal value or the perpetual value is the same. You're going to catch this divided by 1 plus the cost of capital. You can use F4 to lock it, and power by the 5, that is the last period. And we are going to sum all of it, as I did. You're going to have to, you can use here, Control Shift and, oh, oh, Control Shift, and you can just go down. I think I didn't put the formula. Um, oh my God. Yeah, now is it? Control Shift, and then just mark all of it. Oh my God, how? I think my Excel just is just crazy. I don't know why. Let me put it white. Okay. And now we can sum all of this. I don't know why. It is that I think I can put here the sum of all of this. But it's going to, I don't know why is it like this, but that is is like this that you guys should do. And we are going to have the enterprise value. Based on the enterprise value, we can add cash back and reduce or cut the debt, and we are going to have the equity value basically. And then we we pick up here the shares outstanding and divide the equity value divided by the shares outstanding, and we are going to have the share price. I don't know why, guys, but my Excel just bugged, and I just can't I just can't do anything. But I think that is the essence of the discounted cash flow. Let me just um, close my Excel and open it again. If we can just end well the video. So here we can sum all of it. You guys can use Control Shift and then Control Shift and then just sum, and you're going to have your enterprise value. Then you guys can put the enterprise value here, add back the cash, and reduced debt to have the equity value that is the sum of it because it's already negative. So yeah, is the sum of it and the shares outstanding it for you to have the share price. Based on this analysis, basically we can see that the NVIDIA is overvalued and um, we can expect logic. It can grow in the short term, but in the long term, for the next 5 years, basically we can have a decrease in their share price, but it's based on it's not a professional analysis, guys, and the growth rate probably is not is not probably right if we pick up here like 25%, as you guys see, it can it grows as you guys saw. If we pick 25%, and it can just indeed we can see that based on it, it's undervalued. So we have to like if we would, I think is that's the word, but if we analyze the past income statement and so the growth margin or the margin of the EBITDA, the growth of the EBITDA based on the past 10 years or 5 years, we precisely, I think is this. We were going to have a decent percentage. I don't know if it's 25% or 10%. I just assume that it's 10%, but you guys can see that here with 25% the share price increased to 183,000 per share. That is basically it shows that it's let me see. It shows that we are undervalued and the NVIDIA can really grow more. So I think it's that. It's a really good valuation method and a really basic. As I said, I'm just a high school student and trying to learn about those things and trying also to share with you guys small things that I learned. So is this, I think for the first video is it, and I hope you guys like this one.